My name is Jeanette Epps. I am a NASA astronaut and I will be Mission Specialist 1 on Dragon Crew 8, and I'll be a flight engineer on the International Space Station. The thing that makes me the most nervous about this flight is that it's my first time and I don't know what to expect. But it's a healthy amount of nervousness, to be sure. It'll be the first time, something new that I've never done, I've trained for, and I'm expecting that it'll be the same as in training, except we're adapting to living in space. And the thing that I'm most excited, I think, just that initial experience of being untethered from the Earth and seeing the Earth from that vantage point, and the whole adaptation to space environment and what all that's going to entail. So that's exciting to me and something new. It'll be very new for me. I've learned a lot about myself over these years training for a space flight. I've learned a lot about my limitations, about how far I can go, what excites me, what I'm afraid of, how I overcome those things and move forward. And it is a great journey of self-exploration as well. Learning to fly the T-38 jet, living in a cave for 5 days, living underwater for 9 days. All the different things that I was able to do just really expanded how I understand who I am. As an astronaut, one of the biggest things that we do is we do a lot of hands-on things on the space station. So like repairing things, taking things apart, putting it back together, is a huge part of what it is to be an astronaut. And at University of Maryland, I was able to build my own test articles. I was able to set up a whole vacuum chamber, test out some composite rotor blades, and all this hands-on work that I was able to do at University of Maryland translates directly to what we do as astronauts. Having that just understanding of tools, how to use the tools, how to use them properly and effectively, and then understanding this isn't gonna work, but I know a tool that will work. University of Maryland taught me all of that. And I had great people around me who taught me a lot too at Maryland. So also leaning on my office mates at the time and now my crewmates. Engineers, just like I said, they have, especially at Maryland, where you can do analytical engineering, very analytical. I'm developing a CFD code for God knows what, especially in helicopters, just all kind of things. But also building your own models, understanding how tools work, how to get things to work better, how to be creative to build a tool for the problem. University of Maryland does all of that. And those are the key things I think engineers develop, which are the exact same kind of skills you need to be a great astronaut. You could be a medical doctor and different things like that, and that brings a lot to the table as well, but there is a lot that you bring to the table as an engineer. I would not have believed anyone telling Jeanette, first-year graduate student at University of Maryland, that she would become an astronaut. I would not have believed it because I came from a really small school in physics and I was transferring over into aerospace. I was very nervous, very gun-shy, very everything, and nervous. But Dr. Chopra got me involved with a research scientist, Dr. Chandra, and I was able to roll my sleeves up and get involved with building my own composite specimens, testing them, producing data. And so over time, I probably would have said, well, maybe, but it still would have been, well, they probably won't select me anyway. So I would, as a first-year graduate student, I would have never believed that I would eventually become an astronaut. Space is just one of those things that it does propel community life forward, because we're developing new technologies. Through developing these new technologies, because we're doing space exploration, we're creating jobs, we're creating interest in science, we're creating more interest in STEM. And then, bringing along all the other social issues that we have on Earth, they seem to be dwarfed by the magnitude of the things that we're trying to accomplish, going to Mars, going to the moon, establishing presence in these things. And it kind of dwarfs the importance of being, call it racist, call it, being sexist even. and how important are those things in the grand scheme of what we're trying to accomplish. So I think doing both is very important, but also making it so that we eclipse the kind of ignorance behind racism, sexism, religion, prejudices. All these different isms are just super eclipsed by the importance of the work that we have to move our society forward.